The CureCast is a non-profit fan-based podcast. Pretty Cure and related characters are all owned by Toei Animation, Asahi Broadcast Corporation, and Marvelous AQL. Please support the official releases.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the CureCast, where the voice is the cure and the cure is pretty. I'm your host, Curekun, also known as Kyle, and I'd like to introduce my cohort, Leo. Say hi, Leo.
Hi, guys! This is the third week in a row. Are you guys sick of me yet?
And together we are Splashcast. Now, with Splashcast, things are a little different, seeing as how it'd probably be lonely if only Leo and I were the only ones here. We've invited someone else to join us. A lot of you already know who our guest is because of the work they've done in the fandub community. That's right, I'm proud to introduce you to Precurefandubz with a Z. Yay!
Hi, I'm the owner of Precurefandubz. I'm really excited to be here today, so thanks for having me. You guys can call me Mike, though.
Okay. Yay!
Hi,
Hi,
Mike!
Mike. Thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to be starting with, of course, Freshly Picked Talk, which, for those of you who don't know, is where we review the latest episodes of the latest Precure series. In this case, we'll be talking about the two most climactic episodes in the series so far, which would, of course, be episode 21 and episode 22. So, just before we start reviewing them and everything, I'm just going to briefly explain what both episodes are about. So, the first episode has the Precure and Jonathan, or, as some people might know, Joe, traveling to the Trump Kingdom to rescue not only Mariange, but also Regina, who was taken by the Jikochu trio to see her father. And so Regina confronts her father about taking over Earth and ends up having her powers sealed by him. And Cureheart sets off to rescue her, but both of them fall into Belle's trap along the way. And then, just when everything seems so hopeless and Regina decides to sacrifice herself to save Mana, she regains her powers after Mana, convinces her that she needs to live and then that they need to both be happy, and Regina is just overcome by, love and passion and everything that she flies Mana out of the hole like Superman and saves them both. And then they take crystallized Mariange and they just run the heck right out of the Trump Kingdom away from King Jikochu. And then the second episode's just exactly right after they escape, and Regina doesn't know what she's going to do now that her father is super angry at her, but Mana manages to convince her that deep down that King Jikochu must still love Regina because she's his daughter and whatnot. And for the time being, Regina goes to live with Mana, and she experiences all these what a family's supposed to be like, and she gets this warmth in her heart, but also pain. And then, while they're at the beach, they get attacked by the Jikochu trio, and an illusion of King Jikochu confronts Regina and turns her evil again by flooding her body with the dark Jan energy. And so Regina ends up attacking the Precure, but suddenly the mysterious warrior Cure Ace appears to save them. And that is my brief recap of both episodes. So I'm going to start with Leo. I want you to tell me what you thought of the climactic episodes.
I liked episode 21. It had a lot of fast-paced action, and that's something I like. A lot of fighting, more so physical than using all of their nifty power-ups and magical powers. I have to say, when Heart saves Regina, the first thing I thought of was dem legs. I mean, like, the way that they had animated it, you know, she was already so far in the fact that Cure Heart was able to just grab her in mid-fall. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I know. I thought, like, she had already fallen enough out of reach, and then just super legs just caught her just in time.
Yeah, it kind of seemed too unrealistic for my taste.
Just a little bit, but it's the fact that, you know, dem legs.
What about episode 22? What did you think of the whole Regina turning evil again and, like, Cure Ace appearing?
Suddenly Cure Ace was seriously all I thought, because there's really not that much build-up to Cure Ace. So aside from outside of the series, everybody knew that she was coming. But it's just how they introduced her to the series that's kind of jarring to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, there's no background to her. You just know that she appears out of nowhere after you hear I going, "Koopy-koopy!"
Yeah, and, like, Cure Muse kind of appeared a similar way, but, like, I don't know.
She actually had build-up throughout the whole entire series as Black Muse.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so having a little bit of build-up throughout the whole entire series, that's perfectly fine because you're setting up for something really huge. Cure Ace is kind of a big deal because it's a new cure. I really would have preferred having something leading up to it aside from, oh hey, there's a 5th royal crystal that's red. Who's the red one supposed to be?
Plus, there's also the fact, like, she just appeared out of nowhere and we still don't know who she is, like, what her identity is.
I kind of like the idea that they went with something a little different this time, instead of having the build-up that she kind of just showed up, you know what I mean? And I like the whole, like, you don't really know her identity right away.
Well, I mean, like, you didn't know Muse's identity right away either.
That's true.
Because, I mean, like, you've got Black Muse, who's got, like, a full entire figure, and then you've got, spoilers, Akko, who's just, you know, teeny tiny and with no figure whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
She wore those, ridiculous high-heel boots.
But, I mean, you know, she's got a full figure, and aside from the boots, that's... But, Regina and the whole her learning what a real family unit is supposed to be, it just really felt kind of rushed.
Yeah, especially since, like, she became good and then evil again within the span of 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, an episode and a half. Maybe not even. Because what I thought was weird was why are her cuffs on her outfit so important that they are her, where her power is locked?
Mm-hmm.
That was something I thought was really interesting when I was watching episode 21 and Regina having her quote-unquote powers locked.
What about you, Mike? What did you think of the 2 episodes?
I had mixed feelings about it, I guess, because I kind of like Regina, but she gives me that, like, Setsuna, like, ease type of feeling. And I did like how she kind of, like, did another heel turn and turned evil, but I kind of wish they had dragged it on a little bit more, so there was a more emotional side to it. Because it feels kind of, like you said, it feels kind of rushed. Like, oh, I'm good now. Oh, this is nice. I like a family. Bam, I'm going to be evil again. Kind of gave me that. But as I said before, I really liked how Cure Ace just kind of showed up out of nowhere. I was really against the idea of Regina becoming her, so I'm glad it wasn't her. But deep down, I kind of hope it was the princess. But seeing as things are going, it doesn't seem like it is.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, when Makoto and Jonathan have their own alter egos, their forms change just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. So maybe there's a chance that the princess's form also changes when she's in the quote-unquote human world and not the Trump Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. But then I just want, I like, I would hope it's her, but I kind of wonder, like, what is she doing in the ice crystal type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we didn't see where Joe or Jonathan or whatever you want to call him took Mary the princess after they rescued her. He wanted to keep it a secret so that no one knew except for him and I-chan.
Which is weird because Makoto doesn't really, like, Kuresora doesn't really, like, show, like, interest, like, where he's taking her type of thing.
Well, I mean, like, she kind of did. She's just like, wait, you're taking her? But
well, yeah.
aside from that, there's not really much of a reaction.
Yeah, like, I thought in the next couple episodes it would, like, bother her a little bit and she'd be, like, wondering about it. But it kind of seemed like they could just threw it back in the back of her head and she kind of just disregarded it while they were at the beach.
Which brings me to a point I want to make about how do you think, at the beginning of episode 22, Rika's just like, oh, maybe a kiss from the prince will wake her up. And then what do you think about all their reactions to him leaning in to actually go kiss her?
I honestly could not believe that was actually happening. And it made me laugh so hard because I knew it wasn't going to work. But at the same time, the fact that they were even bothering to try it at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good use of the old cliche.
Too bad that it doesn't work like in the fairy tale.
Maybe if it was in Smile Precure.
Yeah, maybe.
As for what I thought about the episodes, I'm kind of disappointed in all this rush with Regina's character, because I thought when she was first introduced, I thought she would be the most badass female villain ever, because she just had the personality for it, I thought. And then,
to be fair, she did have that really awesome kick-ass moment in the episode 21 where she really nailed that Jikochu spider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did. But the whole, like, there was a lot of feeling when Regina was just like, I admit, I was really emotionally attached when she decided to sacrifice herself. I knew she wouldn't actually die or anything like that, but I really loved that moment when she decided to, like, let go and everything. I thought that was, like, really well animated, too. And as for, like, when she's in the next episode 22, when she's living with Mana and everything, I agree. I wanted more of a emotional build-up, maybe show her, like, spending a few episodes interacting with each Cure individually and building up, like, a bigger friendship with the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, she's mostly connected to Mana instead of, like, everyone else. Especially Makoto. Like, she's the daughter of the king that, like, just obliterated Makoto's home kingdom. And, like, I really wanted to see, like, an episode dedicated to them, like, trying to become friends. I thought that would have been really great. But...
Okay, go.
No, go ahead.
What gets me is that whenever King Jikochu actually, infused her with all of that dark energy, she had her own heart.
Yeah, she did.
I think that's really interesting because you would think that, considering that they're part of the, like the selfish family, they wouldn't really have a actual pink heart, and I thought that was interesting.
Although Regina did reveal that she didn't have any memories of, like, a childhood spent with her father.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, like, they're gonna set up for a big reveal where it turns out she's not even his actual daughter.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that were the case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really interested to see how they actually answer the question, because DokiDoki, while it's been plot after plot after plot, it's been answering most of my questions the moment, or like whenever I ask it. So I'm assuming this question will be answered much later.
Don't you want to know who the mother is?
We're not going to go into that one.
Okay, so
Did you have something to say, Mike? Because I completely interrupted you. I'm so
No, don't worry. You guys kind of covered everything that I really wanted to talk about. I mean, like, I really liked Cure Ace coming in at the end. I thought that was cool. I'm just excited to see the next couple episodes.
Yeah, I am too. But according to, like, the episode titles, we probably won't find out who she actually is for another, like, month. Seems.
I'm kind of hoping they do, like, where, like, the audience knows who she is, but the girls themselves don't know. You know what I mean?
That would satisfy me.
I would be fine with that.
Me too.
And on that note, if no one else has anything to add, I think maybe we should move on.
Sure.
Sure?
Mm-hmm.
Unless we have something else. It's only 2 episodes, so there's not much we can cover in...
Yeah, because, I mean, like, it was a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
I
did love the fighting, like...
It's very well animated. I'm very, like, pleased with the animation.
Especially after episodes of where it started turning into Smile, where they just kept on using their attacks, getting it over with, and then going for the group attack.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, was the fact that, they were actually getting physical rather than just resorting to their magical powers.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole entire thing of Pretty Cure is the fact that these girls can physically kick your butts and
they
use
can
magical
fight.
powers as well.
I really want to see Rosetta do a bit more, too, in Diamond, though. Because I feel like they're kind of getting, like, put in the back. And I really like Diamond a lot, so I want her to see more of her.
She did have that nice moment when she took on the 2 goats, I think they were. I can't remember.
Oh, the goats. That's right. From when they were in the Trump Kingdom, and Diamond just sort of went, "Hey, I'm going to take over this little thing, and then I'm going to ride it everywhere." Okay, so another thing that I just remembered after talking about the whole bunch of powers, Mana's hesitation to use the purification power to heal Regina.
I completely forgot about that. I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
No, so I just thought that was so stupid. Like, it purifies, you're not hurting her, you're doing her good. Why did you I'm sorry.
I mean, like, I understand that Mana doesn't want to use physical violence against Regina because she, regards her as someone really important. But it's time and time again, the lovely force arrow purifies the psyche.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's killing the person.
There's no real physical violence, like, when they're actually shooting either, because it's like light and bubbles that are attacking.
Yeah, and I think
bubbles and rainbows, don't forget rainbows.
Yes, of course.
And I think back to, like, Ease and Peach, like, they got physical, and it's like, Heart isn't really getting physical, so it wouldn't have been that bad.
I really want to know what Mana's deal with not using not resorting to physical, like, means of persuasion.
She seemed perfectly fine with, like, fighting the Jikochu and everything, but when it comes to Regina, she hesitates too much.
And it's just, I'm hoping that the series will actually explain why she's so adverse to using physical, means. But as of right now, because...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just think back to, like, the Alice episode, and, like, how she didn't want to get physical as a child, too, so Alice did. Do you remember? So I'm hoping I think there might be something there that maybe we'll learn in the future. I mean, hopefully. Because they do kind of set her up as this, like, Mary Sue, and I think they're halfway through the series, they're gonna, like, hopefully have this, like, especially when Ace comes in, this, like, arc where, like, okay, she has this character development, like, she goes through this, like, stage where she goes through something that she has to overcome, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we definitely need, like, some sort of backstory to why Mana's just so perfect, or tries to be so perfect. I mean, we did get a bit when she was, she had June as her assistant a few episodes ago, like almost 10 now. But, it didn't really expand on more than just how hard she actually works. It didn't give like a reason for why she works so hard.
I kind of... Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I kind of want to see more of, like, the president side of her. Because I was really excited to see a main Cure as the president, and we haven't really got too much with it.
Yeah, because it's been focusing more on, the Jikochu and her being involved with Makoto and Regina, and as much as I like character development for all of the other Cures, the fact that Mana hasn't really had character development as a person.
Yeah, it's supposed to just already be there, and we're supposed to just accept it.
I don't. But yeah, aside from the fact that Mana completely hesitated in purifying the evil energy from Regina, and suddenly cure Ace, I like the episode.
I think Cure Ace will definitely, like, not hesitate to, like, kick Regina's ass at all.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of conflict with Cure Ace, because I think we need, like, not a bad Cure, but like a rebel Cure that's kind of like, hey, we need to get the job done, we need to put everything aside and kind of do it.
Like someone who's not afraid to, like, just put her own feelings aside and do the best for the greater good.
Well, I think, aside from that, we have covered everything these 2 episodes have to offer.
Yes,
yeah.
I think we have. It was a good discussion on those 2 episodes. Okay, now it's time for Open My Heart Corner. In this segment, we'll be talking about what is happening in the Precure community and whatnot. In fact, today we'll specifically be talking about Precurefandubz. So, what a fandub is basically like fans coming together and making an English version, or whatever language they speak, version of a show that they like. So, Mike, I want to start by asking you exactly what it is that you are in charge of when it comes to the Precurefandubz group.
Well, I basically started Precurefandubz. I'm like the owner. I mix and produce everything. I write the scripts for the movie, and then I pick the character names as well. And I go through all the casting and all the name changes. And basically, I kind of do. It's kind of a one-man job because I'm so picky that I like to do it all. But I like to think of it as kind of a fan-based company. We kind of aim to follow the Canadian English dub of Precure. And I kind of like it to be like a company which is like for the fans to enjoy, which is made by the fans. If that makes sense.
It does.
Oh no, it definitely makes some sense.
So, what is it, like, the end goal that Precurefandubz is trying to accomplish?
The end goal. I definitely want to finish the movie by next summer. I definitely want it to all be done. We are
which movie?
The DX1 movie, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Along the way, we'll probably do like we've done before, we've done some transformations and attack fandubs. I'm hoping to have a contest where the top 3 winners can pick a scene from any season or movie, and then we'll dub that for them. But I definitely think our goal is just to do the movie. And then I guess from there we'll see how things are. If it's in popular demand or not, we might do another DX one. Not too sure. It is a big project after all.
Yeah, how long have you been working on this?
That's a good question. I definitely think we started when the dub came to Canada, because that's how I got into it, so don't hate me, but that's how I got into the show, through the dub. And so then I Googled it, and as a TV video student, I was like, oh, I want to try and tackle this project for like a fun thing. And I was a part of voice acting at the time, which I kind of dropped now. But I want to say right when the DX movie came out on DVD, like at LiveJournal, is kind of when I was like, I want to tackle this project. And what really took long was writing all the scripts and casting. And there's been a lot of recasts and stuff like that. But right now we're at part 4 out of 8. So like we are halfway through the movie, but I don't want to release everything too soon. I kind of like to space everything out.
So are you the one that does all of the translating of, or like, retranslating so that it actually fits, like, dubbing and so forth?
Yeah. Like I look at the subbed movie, which I got permission from, and I was like, hey, we're gonna look at this so that we can adapt it to the lip flaps and stuff. And so I kind of like, based on what they say, I'll adapt it so it fits the lip flaps, or I'll adapt it so it's like it fits a more American English language type of style.
Okay. That is really awesome.
Yeah, especially since you're doing a lot of it by yourself. Like,
yeah.
Do you like show your fellow, like the people who you cast and everything? Do you like show them for approval or anything like that? Do you get ideas from anyone?
I have a couple people, not my cast necessarily, because my cast, a lot of them don't really know the show very well. This is their first time tackling the show, and I kind of cast them I go through demo reels, and I kind of casted them through that. People I usually contact, like I have a friend named Tyler and Dalen who helped me with the names and stuff, so I talked to them about it. I also talked through, I don't know if you guys know the Precure Abridged series, the person who does that, Sif.
I've seen a couple of episodes of the Precure Abridged series.
Yeah. Me and him are really good friends. He really helps me a lot, and I also get help from the girl who did the Smile Abridged.
That one
episode.
I've seen, yes.
Mm-hmm. So those two help me a lot, I feel, and they're also voice actors for me. Sith plays Fluffy, and I don't know if I want to say, but Rainy Drop, who did the Smile one, does Mipple, and she also is going to be my Cure Happy, which I'm going to release the clip for that soon.
Well, that sounds great. So you've mentioned like other fan dubs and everything, and I understand that recently YouTube removed your videos because of copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that doesn't surprise me.
So I want to ask both of you, not just Mike, how do you feel about companies censoring others from making not-for-profit fan dubs? So, since we've already heard some from Mike, I want to start with you, Leo.
I don't like the fact that they're stifling creativity. Because I mean, if it's like not a fan parody, but it's not
Tarnishing?
It's not tarnishing the original source. I don't see why it should be, censored or taken off the internet where it can be. But I mean, there's a lot of logistics that have to, that are part of the whole business thing. So, I really don't.
You're half and half.
I don't know.
Like you understand them, but you kind of don't like it either.
I mean, I don't like a lot of things that involve, censoring and just pretty much taking, someone's creative work, out from underneath them when they worked really hard. But I'm usually an on the fence kind of person when it comes to seeing both sides of,
I don't see any harm in making fan dubs, especially since it brings more awareness to the franchise. And especially, because we only have one English dubbed series, and you can't really find official subs for the other series out there right now. So, I think if you bring more awareness, which could potentially increase sales of merchandise, I think you shouldn't really stop them. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about, the whole buying into a show and everything like that, but I don't mind purchasing merchandise based on the show. I have some little Cure Sunny and Cure Peace keychains somewhere in my room.
If you had been in the episode, last episode, you would have had fun with all the toys, because we just talked about,
toys.
Pretty much everything that you can buy for Pretty Cure, because that's what the series is all about. And if you don't promote the series, then no one's really going to buy all of the products, and therefore revenue is not going to go up.
I really think they should include, like, international sales somehow, because they'd be surprised at, like, how much people want to buy the merchandise and everything. But getting back to more about, like, what my question was, like, how do you feel about censoring and everything? Mike, what do you think, having personally experienced, like, YouTube removing your videos and everything, like, how do you think they should tackle this issue, or should they even just leave fandubbz alone?
I think they have every right to obviously remove the material, and we are using their material without their permission, which is unfair to the point too. But we always do with every video we always have a disclaimer to kind of be like, hey, this isn't our stuff. We're just kind of doing it for promotion. This is all Toei stuff, like blah, blah, blah. And so getting it taken down was kind of like because personally, the reason I want to do this is so that more dubbing companies can see, like, wow, this show has a lot of potential. Like, it can go somewhere if you just, like, make it, like, continue it from where you left off. Like, they could this show could get really popular in North America, I feel. And so I see the reason why they don't want to is because, like, the rights weren't necessarily paid to do the promotion and the dub and stuff like that. But from my perspective, I also see, like, the hard work that gets put into it and the long time and process. And for me, it's all about, like, promoting and helping the show, and I'm, like, not doing it for money or anything. So I'm on the fence as well. Like, I definitely see it has its reasons to why it got taken down. But we're working around it. I mean, we're now moving all our stuff to Facebook and putting all our videos as unlisted and just kind of posting the links and be like, hey, you can watch it here. Just to kind of still give the show, still finish what we started type of thing.
Yeah, I was actually just about to ask where you uploading, or where were you now uploading all of your stuff, since YouTube is like, no, ban hammer.
Well, as I said, we're kind of moving to Facebook, so most of our videos will now be on Facebook, but we are still on YouTube. We're gonna upload, like, videos being that will kind of announce, like, hey, part 5 is out. You should definitely check it out. Blah, blah, blah. This is what's gonna happen. This is what you should see. Just click the box right now or check the description for the link and you can watch it. That type of thing. And so that's what we're slowly trying to do with the renovation process that we're under right now.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So, which season are you planning on finishing first? Or do you want to finish first? I mean, I know you said you want to get the first DX movie out, but out of all the seasons, which one are you gunning for to finish first?
See, I get a lot of comments about that, and I don't necessarily want to touch the seasons.
Oh, you just want to focus on the movies.
Yeah, and the reason I chose the DX1 movie is because I feel it brings, obviously, all the seasons, not all of them, like, past fresh, but, like, the seasons together, and that's why I wanted to do it so much, so that I could promote the seasons, because I feel like if I touch the seasons, I'm stepping away from the whole reason why I wanted to do this, was so that dub companies could see the potential in dubbing the series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I definitely...
Like...
Oh, go ahead.
For some odd reason, I thought that you were actually focusing on the seasons, because when I was looking at your cast list, like, many, many moons ago, I was just like, wow, he's doing all of these seasons. How am I supposed to try and, audition for all these if, everything is, like, almost taken? I felt I felt so overwhelmed looking at the casting list just on itself. Because
yeah.
I didn't realize that was just for the DX one, or, like, the DX movie.
Mm-hmm. Like, I have a cast up to Smile right now, and I do, like, from... Yeah, Heartcatch to Smile right now. We've done some fandubs with the transformation and attacks, and I'm slowly, like, secretly casting the DokiDoki girls. So, like, I like doing, like, minor things with this Beyond series, but I definitely want to focus on the movie right now. Get it done, just so the fans kind of have something that they can watch and be like, this would be real. It's just shame that it's not, the dubbing companies haven't picked it up already and continued it after the first season.
Yeah, I agree. The first DX movie would really be a good, like, starting point for even like new fans, they might check out your video and be like, oh, I want to learn more about this, or even dubbing companies might see the potential, and it's just a great way to introduce like all the characters up to fresh.
Exactly, yeah. And there was a point where I was considering dropping DX1 and going to DX3, but I feel like there's something about DX1 that kind of introduces the fact that the girls don't know yet about each other, and so that's why I really liked it, is that like it's the first staple of them meeting together type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Earlier you mentioned some other fan dubs, like a bridge series. Do you have any like recommendations for like various Precure fandubs that really stood out to you?
Precure? I like the Abridged series because I'm obviously really good friends with the two of them. I can't really say I know of any other Precure ones, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to tackle it, is because I didn't really see a fandub community for the show. But, like, do you want me to mention other fandubs that I'm a big fan of, like, for other series?
I think we should just stick to, like, Precure right now.
Okay,
but,
well, I don't really think there is any that I know of.
What about, you mentioned how some of your cast members don't really know too much about Precure.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, like, talk about how they started, like, have they researched the show at all? Have they, some of them actually started watching it, anything like that? That you know?
Yeah, I can use an example. My Cure Peach, her name is Mindy Owen. I love her to death. She had no idea of the show. I had worked with her before, and she had played Sailor Moon, so I definitely kind of saw the similarities in the two characters and the character types. And so I casted her, and I was like, look, let's Skype one day. I kind of want to go through the show with you. And so I kind of explained the plot, and I sent her all this stuff to watch, like, the transformations and all that. And whenever I cast someone, I'd show them the script and the whole movie and be like, this is what we're aiming for. This is what your character will do. This is what your character has come from. And I explain each season to everyone so they kind of know where their character has come from. But, like, with some characters, like my Cure Dream, she knows the series very well, and she's played the character several times. And so it's nice to have a kind of a mixture where you have people who are very strong and know the series very well, and there's people who don't really know it very well, and so they add a different twist to it and a fresh there's a pun, fresh take on it as they don't really know the show, and so they add their own twist to the characters, which I like. And as much as there's negative comments about the name changes and like some characters not really sounding like the Japanese, I look at the characters as their personality and like as a character in a whole.
Okay, so I actually have a question. For those who actually don't know how to audition, where would they go and how would they get the stuff to you?
Okay, so how I do auditions is I go through demo reels because I kind of do from the fandub side, and I kind of like pre-casting, and I don't really go through auditions. So if you have a demo reel, you should definitely send it to my email, which can be found on Facebook, or just message me on YouTube and be like, hey, this is my demo reel, check it out. If you ever need a character, listen through it. And that's kind of how I cast before. Like, my Cure Happy, she had a demo reel, she also had the Abridged series, and I've heard her do Happy a lot of times, and I was just like, you know what, you do the character extremely well. Would you want to do it for my fandub and my fandub clip? And she was like, yeah, definitely, I'm very excited to do it. And so that's kind of how I do my casting process.
Okay.
But yeah,
there was another question and it just completely left me. Crap.
someone said something about names, but then I had to go to the phone. I don't remember what the question was.
Yes, you need to do the names. Like, how did you come up with the name?
Oh, okay. So how I came up for the names, I kind of look at the first letter of the name, because in the English dub, they turn Nagisa and Honoka to Natalie and Hannah, right? And so I kind of just went through every character, and I kind of looked at their names and their personalities, and kind of was like, okay, like, Saki I renamed and call her Sarah, and Mai I called her May. So it's kind of just like tiny little name changes and it kind of still fits their personality, because like I can still see Saki as Sarah, like a sporty girl, blah blah blah. Like Nozumi, I called her Nicole. So it's just kind of it's kind of by the first letter, sometimes by the first letter, but like for Urara, there wasn't a lot of U names to go with. It's like for Ursula, but then I think The Little Mermaid, and then I'm like, you know. Yeah, so then, she's actually, I've renamed her 4 times already, and, we finally came up with the name, because I talked with my friends Tyler and Dalen, and we went through her personality and everything, and we finally decided to call her Melanie, because we thought the name was unique, and like, Urara is like very unique as a character herself, and she's very like, she has that stardom quality, and we just like Melanie because it had that music quality to her, and like it kind of fitted her character, we thought.
I do like that name. That's a really pretty name. You don't normally hear that kind of name out.
I know a Melanie.
You do?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Oh, well.
And she definitely is like a star and everything like that, so I think it does fit her personality.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through all the names, or no?
Oh, just a couple is fine.
Okay. And then Komachi, we called her Claire. Karen, we kind of left Karen as Karen because that makes sense to just leave her as Karen.
It does, yeah.
Rin, we renamed Rena. Kurami, also known as Milk, we renamed Kimberly. Love, we renamed Lauren. Barry, why am I forgetting her real name?
Mickey.
There we go, thank you. We renamed Marley. And, Inori, we renamed as Megs, which was kind of a weird name, and we renamed her a couple times because we had her as Izzy and Isabella, but we finally stuck with the name Megan for because of her personality, and because she's kind of like sweet and soft and like the color orange. So,
you know what's really funny is that my roommate Megan is actually really in love with Inori. So I just find the coincidence just really hilarious. Love you, baby!
So yeah, we kind of based on personality and kind of like the first letter of the name, obviously, and whatever works. Like, but Itsuki is another one that we did, and we chose Sam because it's a unisex name. And you could go from Samuel to Samantha, and we consider like the series plots as well and what their names have. Mm-hmm. Like Yuri, we named her Lily. So we kind of go with either the meaning or the first letter type of thing.
So there is a lot of thought put into names and not just randomly naming them.
Yeah, we don't just like, let's just call Hikari, Light, yeah. Or let's call her Sally or something like that. You know what I mean? Like we kind of think of it, like we called her Hillary, and this one's kind of funny is because, like, Hikari and Hillary, but we also kind of thought, like, Hillary Duff and, like, blonde girl, and we're like, yeah, Hillary. It works.
That works.
Yeah. So, like,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So we just kind of just consider every detail when naming.
Okay, I think the last question I have that I can really think of is, with doing this project, what kind of hurdles have you had to surpass to actually get your, get your fandubbz to where it is right now?
There's been a lot, actually. Where to start? I think a main thing that a lot of people don't necessarily think about when they comment is, there's been a few people who are like, oh, when's the next part coming out, blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of like, well, I'm taking the time out of my life, right? And I kind of do it in my spare time, which with a job and like going to school and like friends and everything, it's kind of hard to manage. Mm-hmm. But I think trying to find an even balance and trying to find time for it has been a big hurdle in itself. Also, there's been a few recasts of roles, and I'm the type of person, because obviously as well, my voice actors are doing this in their free time. They don't necessarily have to do it, like they're not getting paid, no one's getting paid, this is all free time, right? Mm-hmm. So, obviously they have their own lives too, and sometimes they can't meet a deadline and they really want to stay committed to the project, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. At this point, since we're halfway through the movie, I'm really hoping there won't, knock on wood, but I really hope there won't be any more recasts because I'd like the voices to continue to flow throughout the movie. Another thing is my computer's crashed and I actually had parts 3 and 4 edited already, and then my computer crashed, so I had to edit them. I have part 4 all edited, so I'm happy about that. But it kind of, it's again back to the whole, like, some people don't really, like, the fans, and I really appreciate them, but they don't really understand how much time and effort goes into it and how much, like, spare time it takes out of everyone's lives who's a part of the project.
I completely understand the whole being able to balance your personal time with doing this hobby that you absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
What is
like
it? Go ahead.
Sorry, like with this, you guys are taking your own time to do this talk show, like the radio cast. Like you're taking your own time. You don't have to do it, but you are because you like to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's so much fun.
Yeah,
it really is, because we get to poke fun at each other and we get to meet new people, and
exactly.
It's just a good way to actually have a healthy conversation with other people.
Exactly. And it also kind of irks me sometimes when I get the typical comment like, oh, why are you renaming the characters, or the voices sound stupid. It's like, hey, you don't like it, you don't have to watch. Like, we're doing this so we can promote an English fandub, so you can get an English fandub out of it in the end. Hopefully. I mean, if after the movie's done and there still hasn't been like a re-English thing, I have a connection with I'm not going to say who because I'm not allowed to say, but I have a connection with him, someone who actually did the original dub of Pretty Cure. And so I'm going to talk to them, and if they could probably pass the movie along, and we're going to hopefully see if that like sparks an interest. If not, I'd really be interested in having like the fans and like live journal community and everyone signing a petition and be like, this is something we want to see. Like, can you continue from where you left off? So that's my main goal, right? And so it kind of bothers me sometimes when people are like, oh, why are you renaming the names? I'm like, they've done it with Pokemon, they did it with Sailor Moon, they did it with a lot of shows, and those shows become so popular because children can relate to them more, because as an American or a North American citizen, growing up and like having, like, if Pokemon kept a name Satoshi, I'd be like, what? As a kid, like, because they named him Ash and made the name so easy to understand and remember, it was just more easy and a more likable show and experience, I feel, for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what the show is made for. Like, we're all older, but we still love the show because it's an amazing show, but
and it kicks up all of the nostalgia feel.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is aimed at kids, and I think that's where a big part of the market is.
I can't really think of anything else that I want to ask right now. I'm probably going to end up with a question like 2 days from now, and I'm going to keep myself later for it. But
I think that was a really good note to end the segment on, actually.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, then. I guess this segment of Open My Heart is completely done.
Thanks for having me. This was a fun segment.
Yeah, and you're still joining us for the next one. So.
Yes, I am. Don't worry.
Okay, finally, it's time for everyone's favorite ultra happy panel, where we talk about everything and anything in the Precure franchise. So today, I think we're going to be talking about the various parent and child relationships that we've seen throughout the various seasons. So, like, from Honoka's father and mother barely ever seeing their daughter, to Regina's horrible, evil entity father bent on taking over the universe. Really, the Precure franchise has had a lot of variety of different, like, takes on the parent and child relationship. I'm gonna start off by asking, like, which parent-child group kind of does everyone like the best? I'm actually gonna start by saying that I really love Hibiki's family from Sweet Precure. It starts off with, like, it looks like her family's super busy and everything, and like no one ever pays attention to her kind of thing, but there was a lot of good moments where it showed that her parents, even though, like, her mom's a famous violinist and is always overseas, and her father's a teacher, they still care for her, and they want her to put her whole heart into, like, whatever she loves. That was one of the whole, like, things that her father was trying to teach her when he taught her piano. Even her mom says that, like, her dream is for the whole family to perform on stage, which I thought was, like, super sweet and endearing and everything. So that's why
I'm just like all tearing up now because all of these feels and all the parents are like child relationships.
I know, I really love Hibiki's family and everything. Like, her parents are super awesome, and, like, I don't know, I just love them. And Sweet's actually one of my favorite series. I know it gets a lot of backlash and everything, but I really loved it. Anyways, so yeah, Mike, how about you?
I agree with you. Like, I was gonna say Hibiki's family, but I'll go with someone else now. And I might get a lot of hate for this, but I'm gonna say two family. Well, a mother-daughter relationship I really liked was Love's, because I really liked that relationship, and I loved how open her family was to take Setsuna in. So I really liked that family, but this one I feel like people really hate, but I like this family. I love Ako's family because the whole season kind of revolves around her family with her grandpa, her dad, and her mom. And, like, I love how Sweet is, like, such a family-orientated season, and that the movie really brought the family together and really made me love the family even more because it shows the hardships that families go through, and that no matter what, like, in the end, you'll always be family type of thing. So I like her family because of that.
I was actually going to say Akko, too. Or, like, Akko and her grandfather. But, I mean, the whole entire royal family from Sweet is just a really lovable family unit. Because, I mean, spoiler, you've got Mephisto. I mean, he's evil in the first half, but you see whenever he's actually, good again, he's such a loving father. And, he really cares about his family and how important they are to him.
That's what I really loved about Sweet. It was like, the theme was basically about redemption, and, like, everyone had a second chance, basically.
I honestly agree with the whole families in Sweet, because they really focus on just how much they all care for each other. I mean, you've also got Kanade, and then how, how much she loves her brother, despite the fact that, they're brother and sister, they have their own rivalries going on.
And then, like, Ellen and... Oh god, I can't remember the mascot.
Hummy.
Even...
I should give you flack for that.
Especially since I just said Sweet my favorite. Hummy and Ellen are basically, like, a family on their own.
Because, I mean, like, they both grew up together in Majorland.
And, like, that whole love aspect, even though they're best friends, it's more like, I'd say, like, a family, because that love kind of brought Seirein back to the side of good and everything.
I really like, sorry to interrupt, but I also wanted to talk about now Cure March's family, because there was that one episode where they were all getting their power-up things, and where her brothers and sisters are about to get attacked, and she, like, screams, and, like, you really feel how much care she has for her family. So I really liked that family as well. I didn't get as much screen time as I'd like to see, but I think her as a character, you get to see how much she cares for her family.
Yeah, like, her family episodes, because she had probably, like, 2 of them, I think. They were pretty good. I really liked those episodes in Smile. Leo, did you mention what your favorite family was?
No, I have not. I was waiting for you guys to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's cool because I get to, pipe in with my 2 cents. I actually just like all the family units from Fresh, but specifically the one that comes to mind is Inori's family. I don't know, I like the fact that,
they save animals.
Not so much the whole saving animals thing, it's just that, I don't know, it's just the Fresh family in general are the ones that really stick out in my mind.
Well, Fresh did have a really strong, importance. They stressed the importance of family a lot.
Yeah, I like how Barry's dad, like, there was that separation thing. I thought that was cool that they added, like, how different families are in society nowadays.
Barry's father never appeared in the series, did he?
No.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Barry's family, or like Miki's family, is her mother, who's, you know, the hairstylist. And then you've got her brother, who shows up every now and then.
And pretends to be her boyfriend.
And then... Well, that's another topic that we are not going to get into.
And that is her fault, because she's so popular.
But, you know, you've also got Love's family, obviously, and, you know, the episode with Solar getting rid of all of the, you know, the parents. That was... I'm sorry, that really clinched it for me that Solar was pretty devious before Northern. But, I mean, you know, it really showed, along with, you know, like, aside from Sweet, Fresh really shows how important the family unit is to the, you know, to the Precure. And the type of lengths they will go to make sure that their family is safe. You go through, like, different series where you get to see glimpses of their family, but it's nothing really emotionally grabbing. Because, I mean, like you said earlier, with Honeka's family, you see them for, like, an episode or two, but it's nothing you can really hang on to. And then you've got all of the family members from Fresh, all of the family members from Sweet, and then you have the, you know, the glimpses of the family members of, like, in Heartcatch and in Smile. It's...
Oh, let's not forget to mention the really sad whole episode in Smile with how Peace is trying to... Or, Yayoi.
Yayoi. Don't worry, I will make sure that you guys say the names correctly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That episode where she's trying to, like, remember her father and, like, how she was named and everything.
There's actually a comic on Pixiv where Yuri actually finds out about Yayoi's dad, and then at first it seems like, you know, Moonlight is really mad at Yayoi, and she's like, we need to come train, you need to come over to my house, blah blah blah, and then Yayoi comes over, and Yuri's just all like, hi, here, I made you dinner. There are so many comparisons, and I told you, I'm gonna start, you know, spilling feels all over this thing.
Well, speaking of Yuri, how about her family?
What family?
Well, we had her dad who...
Spoilers!
Yeah, spoilers. He went missing, and she didn't really have that much of a family anymore after he went missing.
I mean, like, she still had her mother, but, you know, 4 years of her life, 3 years plus however long the series was spent trying to figure out where her father had gone.
Yeah, 3 years plus however long the series actually was. But yeah, and then, like, now, was there any other than, like, let's see if we can name all the fathers in the series who were evil for one point in time or not.
We've got Yuri's father from Heartcatch. You've got Akko's father, Mephisto. Then you've got... No one from Smile had a father that was evil. And then you've got Regina from DokiDoki, whose father is, you know, obviously the big bad of the series. So there's really only 3 series where parental figures are evil.
And it kind of sucks because Akko gets her father back, and for spoilers again, but like Yuri doesn't get her father back.
Oh my god!
And then she gains a half sister.
A second.
Like, a bit. Oh, I'm making myself sad now because I really love Dark Precure.
But there's actually like an artist on Pixiv. I know I keep going back to Pixiv, but that's just because it's, you know, fan art central and I love it. There's an artist that drew Yuri looking, or like remembering that she had seen a picture of Akko happy with her family, and then it shows her holding a picture of her and her mother, and she's like taped on a picture of her father and Dark Precure in the same frame.
Oh.
And she's crying, and then Setsuna shows up, and she's comforting her, telling her about, you know, how, you know, she loved Mobius, she wanted to do everything for him, and he ended up, stabbing her in the back. And then, there's a lot of comforting, and I'm just like, I didn't need those feels anyway. Why am I reminding myself of this?
Another parent who I believe they died was Urara's, right? Didn't her mother die?
I wouldn't know because
Okay.
I have not. I'm gonna admit this right now. I have not seen any of Yes Precure at all.
I feel kind of bad for it because I've watched the majority of all of the series. I just haven't actually finished the last few episodes because you know how it took forever to get everything translated and subbed?
Yeah. And Go-Go's still, like, almost subbed, not...
It is almost subbed,
Mhm.
but, the fact that I think I'm just kind of waiting for everything to be finished before I finish everything myself. But I don't... When exactly did they mention that in Yes Precure 5?
I think... Because I remember seeing Yes for a bit, and I didn't drop it, but I kind of just like put it on hold until the rest of the series was done, and then I started watching it again. So it was kind of a long time ago, but I feel like there is an episode where Urara is trying to remember her mother, and I remember there was a lot of like people in LiveJournal talking about when Yayoi, how do you say it?
Yayoi, you got it right.
There we go. Yayoi, his father had the episode. They were kind of talking about like how it kind of copied Yes Precure 5, where Urara had an episode where she's missing her mother, and I think she had a picture of her mom, or was it like a teddy bear? There was something of her mother's that she had, and then it turned into this evil, like a kuaina, and so she had to fight it, and she was crying. And then I remember watching that episode. I don't know if it was in Go-Go, because I have seen a bit of Go-Go, but I think it was in 5.
Because I'm kind of remembering it, but it's been a while since I've actually watched Yes Precure 5.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's so many family units in this franchise.
Yeah.
Because, you also have, Itsuki, and her relationship with her brother. Then you've got Tsubomi and how her family pretty much dropped everything to make sure that she had a happy life, which I think is really nice. Because you don't, in a lot of anime, you don't normally see the family, like the parentals, dropping everything to make sure that their family unit is okay.
Mm-hmm. You also have, like, Nagisa and her family.
Mm-hmm. We do.
It's not touched a lot. And, well, you also have, like, Honoka and her grandma. I kind of feel like her grandma didn't really get a lot of development, though.
No, and Nagisa's family's pretty normal. I'd say she has, like, the most normal family from, like, a lot of the series.
But what bothers me is that both, like, everyone in her family has black hair, and then she's the only one who doesn't have black hair. It just seems so random.
Well, to be fair, they have to give the main girl a quality, like, some kind of physical quality that outside of her...
Yeah, but, like, Love's mom and, like, Hibiki's family, like, they kind of, like, their hairstyles kind of connect to the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, Hibiki's family, they pretty much all have the same hair color.
Mm-hmm. Or even Akko's, like, you got red hair and yellow, red and yellow make orange, then you have Akko.
I'm sorry, I'm under the firm belief that Akko's gonna end up looking like her mom.
Yeah, she could grow into that.
She could, yeah.
It's just a random thought. Because we usually talk about how, Akko is the tiniest Precure, and then I'm like, but she's only 9. She's gonna end up growing up to be probably as hot as her mom, which is, a logical thought process.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do like the movie when you see, like her parents turn to stone, and I forget exactly what happens, but, like, then you see them, like, come back to life, and Akko starts crying, and blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the movie, spoilers, but she makes the decision to not live, what's their homeland called?
Majorland.
She decides not to live at Majorland so she can finish the Precure duty on Earth. And a lot of people hate that movie, but I really like that movie because it's the only movie that works with the plot and shows very good character development.
I really enjoyed that movie.
I love that movie.
I think the only part that I didn't like was that random girl who was supposed to be like friends with Akko when she still lived in Majorland.
I hated it. She was weird. She was just... She was not necessary.
I guess. It's been a while since I watched the movie. I completely forgot about the... I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about the random friend that was supposed to be in the movie.
What's her name? What's her name? No one knows.
Let's ask our resident name pronunciator, Leo. Do you still remember her name?
Hold on.
Oh, you're gonna Google it?
Yes, I am. But you know what? That's okay. Because you can do that. Movie characters. Here we go.
Suzu. Right.
Oh yeah, I see her. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm looking at a picture right now of her, and she looks like Rika.
Does she?
Yeah, she does. Look at that.
Hold on. I need to see this picture.
I'm looking at a picture of her from when she's like Akko's confronting
Oh my god,
her.
she does look like Rika, except with shorter bangs.
Yeah.
Definitely shorter bangs.
This is kind of off topic, but like, I recently finished Max Heart, and there's an episode where one of Hikari's friends is voiced by the girl who plays Erica, and I think it's the coolest thing ever.
I haven't seen Max Heart yet.
It's been so long since I've seen Max Heart, and when I watched it, it was whenever they decided to stop fan subbing because it had been licensed officially.
Mm-hmm.
So I never got to finish Max Heart. That's another one that needs to be finished.
I started I like going in order, so I've started in order. But okay, I'm a liar. I didn't really start in order. I've done Futariwa and Max Heart, and then Splash Star. I'm starting now, but since I've been a part of the community since Fresh, I've kind of already known Fresh and Beyond. I already know what kind of happens with that plot. Mm-hmm. So I guess you could say I've watched those, but I haven't if there was a filler episode, I haven't really touched base with it.
Okay, getting back on topic of families, I don't think we've talked about the DokiDoki families.
Well, Alice doesn't really have a family aside from the awesome butler Sebastian.
Yes, who's definitely awesome.
And then
awesome.
I liked Rika's dad, that episode where he came to visit. That was nice.
With the Karuta game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rika definitely seems to idolize her mom a lot.
Yeah.
Rika, I've noticed, it's mostly Rika that I've seen a lot of family episodes with. I mean, you have a few moments with Mana and her family, but it's nothing as deep as Rika.
Which is weird because Mana has the biggest family. She has her grandpa, and she has her mom and dad there, and they all have the restaurant. So you'd think you would see more with them, but you don't.
Mm-hmm. Especially since it's a family restaurant. It could be a great setting, but they don't use it that often.
They really don't. And then you have Makoto, who doesn't have a family. Or her family's in the Trump Kingdom, which has been kind of obliterated for now.
Yeah.
And I mean, Alice has...
her grandfather.
It's obvious... No, Alice doesn't have the grandfather. Alice has Sebastian.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Alice has family. They just don't think to mention them at all.
I think they mentioned that her dad owns the TV station that they visited.
Well, I mean, I know that she has family.
Because she's super rich. They're super busy because she's super rich, so...
But I mean, they don't really talk about her family.
I'm pretty sure they own, the whole entire town.
That wouldn't surprise me in the least. I mean, if they were able to own the tallest tower and the movie station and Lord knows what else, it's safe to say that she pretty much runs the town. Which, do we even know what the name of the town is yet?
I think it's been mentioned, but...
Because it hasn't really clicked with me yet, because they don't mention it very often.
I want to say Yotsuba.
Is it Yotsuba Town?
I'm not sure.
I think so.
Pretty much in DokiDoki, the main family that's been, developed is Rika's family.
And then, you have them acting, the four main curers acting as a sort of surrogate family for Ai, but they don't really show much like that. Compared to the girls in DokiDoki taking care of Ai. They haven't really done a lot of that compared to, like, Chiffon and the Fresh Girls. So it's sort of like I was kind of shoehorned into the plot a bit.
Well, to be fair, they've been doing a lot of, like, big plot developments within the past 20 episodes of Doki. So it's hard to do filler episodes where it focuses on, each girl taking care of Ai, or, just each girl in general.
I think they might have added Regina in a little too soon. Like, I love the plot and I love how the series is going so far, but I think that it's either now that Ace is introduced and they do the Ace arc, they need to have a, like, character arc so everyone can develop. But I kind of feel like they should have, the characters should have already been halfway developed for us already.
Family in DokiDoki isn't a very big priority, aside from, Rika and her family, and then you have Regina and King Jikoju. Mana's family is just the happy family unit. It's very normal, and then you have it contrasting to Regina and her daddy. It's a very big contrast.
It definitely is.
There's also Komachi and her sister.
Oh yeah, her sister, who looks almost exactly like her, except with darker green hair.
And is, like, completely badass.
Yeah, she's a motorcyclist, isn't she?
Yeah. And then you got Komachi, who's, like, the librarian, so...
The librarian / aspiring writer.
And sometimes superhero.
Well. Yeah, that's just something off to the side.
She's there. I mean, she's...
Okay, so... Family units... In some seasons, not the main focus. In others, it's the, pretty much what ties the whole entire series together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, the DVD cover of Sweet is of the girls and the whole entire family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here, I'll link you. But...
Oh, I had no idea.
Like, I think that's the main concept of the series.
That is nice and sweet. That's very sweet. It's sweet of sweet.
Oh, it's the whole entire family, and then Wown, and wow, there's a lot of minor characters. Wown, the
Wown,
the blue-haired girl.
Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yeah, Wown.
But
wow, there's a lot of minor characters in that.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, some of them I don't even recognize.
I thought you said this was the movie, not the...
No, sorry, the last DVD cover, like, the 16 DVD of the series.
Okay. Oh, Hummy! Sorry, I just see Hummy in Beastars. Hummy! Sorry.
Are there any, like, other worth mentioning families in the Precure series, or have we covered a lot of them?
We've covered, I think, a lot of them.
We didn't really go in order, so it's kind of hard to keep track.
We were just kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Erica's sister.
Momone!
She's
Momoka.
kind of important.
She is quite... That whole arc between, for Erica and Momoka actually reconciling... I mean, like, they weren't fighting, but, you had the sister complexes and everything. And it was... I like that they managed to tie that all in and fix the problem. Not, like, within one episode, but, within a span of, like, a couple of episodes.
Erica's father being, like, a photographer and then, like, her mother being a fashion designer was the whole reason they went to Paris, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Her mother, I think they had just opened up a store in Fairy Drop. Or like a store in Paris for Fairy Drop, which is why they went to Paris.
Mm-hmm. And then Momo was also doing a fashion show or something, wasn't she?
Ooh! Oh! We were about to forget another parental child unit, Salamander and Olivier from Heartcatch.
Oh
yeah, that's right. Even though they're movie characters.
They still have a father and son relationship.
It's true, and then, like, the whole reason for the plot was because...
Olivier he just wanted to travel the world with his father. He didn't want to destroy it.
I know he wanted to be a good little boy and just see the world, and then Salamander's just like, nah, let's just take it over instead and destroy it.
Let's destroy it because I don't like the world and, stuff. That
and
are
then
spoilers,
let's turn
but I'm
into,
not
like,
gonna...
a dragon thing, and...
Well, that was his final form, don't you know?
That was a nice little... Especially since there was only a lot of family stuff near the end of Hardcatch, so the movie was a nice addition since they wanted to put, like, more family stuff into it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I can't believe I almost forgot about Salamander and Olivier.
Mm-hmm.
And I just watched the movie, like, a couple of days, too.
How could you forget, Leo?
Because we're trying to think of all the different, family parent uses in every season. I wasn't even including the movies.
There's a lot of characters that don't really have families, though. That is the thing.
Like, they're not mentioned or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, like, you got Alice so far, and Karen.
Or they have, like, a very small cameo, and then they're never mentioned again.
We haven't talked about, like, Splash Star families.
I wouldn't know because I haven't seen Splash Star. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wait, aren't you guys the Splash Cast?
No, I'm trying. I actually saw Splash Star, and I'm trying to, the parental. I mean, like, you've got, Saki's family who owns the bakery, and then you've got Mai's family, and what is it? Her mother's an archaeologist, and her father's an astronomer, I think. But they, there's no. I mean, like, about the families. Mai's family, you don't, aside from her brother, you don't really connect with. You connect more with Saki's family and her little sister Minori.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than, the actual parents. I mean, they're there. And they do have a couple of scenes, it's just not coming to me at the moment, but the more focus from each of their respective families is Mai's brother and Saki's little sister.
And then, I don't really know about them, but the two wannabe cures at the end of the series or something like that. Michiru and Kaoru or something like that.
Yeah, those are siblings. Or, the sibling relationship rather than, a parent and child. Yeah, with Splash Star it focuses more on sibling relationships than parental relationships. Which is fine by me.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that we started talking about parent-child, and then we've just sort of moved all into family.
It's just the family unit in itself, because it doesn't matter if it's parent or child, or brother and sister, or sister, or, grandmother and grandchild. It's still a family unit.
Because, like, you also have people like Hikari, who... I forget the person's name, but they own the donut shop. Or not the donut shop, sorry, that's the...
You've got Akane Akane who owns the taco cafe.
Yeah, there you go.
Basically Hikari's surrogate sister, or, surrogate family member.
Okay.
We've pretty much touched on all of the family units in this series. I'm still looking around my room to make sure that I'm not forgetting anybody. Well, no, because I have, like, all of my figures everywhere, so...
Yeah, no, I was just about to say that. So, I guess we've covered all of the families?
Pretty much all the families, except for maybe some of the Smile girls, but I personally have not finished Smile, so...
Oh, I know one. We haven't talked about Itsuki's
I was trying not to do that too.
Were you really? Too many feels?
I honestly was trying not to say Ichiki because it's so funny having Potpourri, speak with that list. But anyway, Itsuki and her brother, that's, another sibling relationship. She holds her brother in the highest regard, and, she would, from what I remember in the movie, she wanted to protect her brother who was super sick.
Mhm.
So, you've got that relationship as well.
And that's the main focus of, like, her whole family. Although, like, other family members appear. I'm pretty sure her mom and her grandfather appeared, but the main focus is on that brother-sister relationship.
Kind of like how with Erica and her, like, the main focus in her family is Momoka.
It's mostly, like, Heartcatch mostly focuses on siblings, except for Yuri. Because even Tsubomi gets a little sister.
Yeah, she gets a little sister at the end, but, that's obviously not a big focus.
Mm-hmm.
With Tsubomi, I think her familial folk,
Her grandmother.
it's her grandmother, obviously, because, Cure Flower! Yay! And then, obviously, Yuri with her daddy issues. Oh, those daddy issues!
Plus, there was even that episode where, one of their classmates or something like that, her little sister, didn't like her anymore. I can't remember the episode. I'm trying to remember the plot of the episode.
Oh, that's another. Oh my god! Now I'm thinking about that. Is her name is Nami, and she's pretty much taken over, being sister and mother to her little sister because their mom had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Mother's Day episode for Heartcatch. I remember that completely because that was such a heartbreaking episode. Because dead mommy and the teenage girl who's trying to do so much and sacrifice most of her teenage life just to make sure that her little sister can grow up happy.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of familial relationships in this series, and there's just not one to pick that's, or not, you can't just pick one because there are just so many different stories.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got Yes Freaker 5, and then we've got Coco and Nuts, who are brothers.
Are they really?
I think they are actually brothers, because they're both princes of,
Yeah, the one's prince of I forget, I think it's East Side and West Side. I don't know, but there's two sides and one person's.
I'm pretty sure that they're brothers. But I mean, they obviously have grown up together, so they do have that brotherly relationship. And, they both, again, they care about each other because they've grown up with each other and, they have each other's backs. And obviously, that's very important for Yes Precure 5. That they both work together because they have to, the Palomir Kingdom! There we go! I'm just remembering everything as I speak. They both want to see their home country brought back to life, or, restored, and since that's how most Pretty Cure series are, restoring a separate kingdom.
One more, the last one, I think. That whole brother-sister relationship with Candy and Pop.
Oh yeah, and the Queen.
Smile, and then somehow the Queen's her mother.
Which doesn't make sense.
Well, to be fair, even though I haven't seen the end of Smile, I would personally, if I had to make sure that my royal offspring were protected, they would be better off with the, legendary warriors.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, even if Candy didn't realize that she was the Queen's daughter, it's still the fact that the Queen knew that Candy would be in the care of the Precure.
But, what I don't get is that, does that mean Pop is her actual brother, or no? Because Pop was surprised to find out that she was the princess.
It could be that she isn't really her daughter, but more like she's chosen as, to be the next queen, basically.
Okay.
That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And then, the Queen just then on refers to her as, her daughter or something like that. It might be like that, like a transferring of power or something. I'm not sure.
Well, either way, Pretty Cure has way too many complex family relationships with each of the, with most of the characters. So!
On that note, I think, it wraps up this, cast, actually, this recording.
Yeah, I think so.
that was Splashcast with our special guest Mike from Precurefandubz. So thank you for joining us, and thank you Mike for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and remember if you yay! So remember, if you want to send us a message or become a guest maybe on a future cast, please send us a message, and the contact info will be in the description for the video. So thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Bye!